Hi everyone. In the world of in a world that moves so fast and many of us feel disconnected from ourselves, from others and from meaning. And this feeling can become even stronger when we move abroad. And in today's episode, we have Biga, another psychologist with us, and we're going to talk her journey and plus how we can overcome loneliness in abroad and how AI is impacting our relationships. So welcome Biga and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So let us know your early stage when you decided to become a psychologist.
Well, I was always internally deep and I was always interested in psychology as well as philosophy. Even I have a childhood memory around it. I think I was 5 or 6 and I used to play alone when I was a kid. I really enjoyed alone time. It was a big garden. My father has a farm and I was climbing up on the trees and watching the mountains and animals and thinking. And one day my thinking changed shape and I realized that I was thinking. So I thought about thinking and it was very interesting for me because it was a shocking experience because thinking generally goes through a direction.
Yeah.
But when you think about thinking itself, it doesn't go anywhere. It is like looking in the abyss. It is an emptiness that I encountered within me. And it was not a scary experience though for me. It was interesting. I even went to my father to talk about it. And he said, don't think too much, you'll go mad.
That's what our family thinks, no?
Yeah.
But like when we talk about like early stage, you decided that you wanted to become a psychologist. Is there was some maybe sign or maybe some reason that you said like, oh no, maybe psychologist is not for me?
No. I always liked psychology, but I had many interests. One, as I said, I partially grew up in a farm, so I thought maybe I can be a veterinarian.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had interest in the body, like moving. I was a gymnast when I was a kid, so I thought maybe I can be a circus artist.
Yeah.
But psychology was always there, and slowly it grew up in me, and I found myself as a therapist.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel glad that you choose this one. So I got to meet you today.
As well.
And I wanted to ask because we talked last time about AI and relationships, right? How AI is impacting our relationship?
I think AI has positive effects and also negative effects on us and on our relationships as well. To a portion, I think using AI is very beneficial to understand oneself because it is showing you or it is allowing you to organize the pieces of yourself that you know already. AI is a mirror. It can't give you something new.
Yeah.
And that's where AI gets stuck. Because when in a relationship, and also we have relationships with ourselves, so this is also a relationship.
Yeah.
And when in a relationship we experience blind spots, AI falls short there to help us. And
Yeah.
it can do more harm than benefit because it is putting us in our own mental loops. So you are saying one thing and getting the same thing back, and if you say, have you thought it in the other way, AI will be like, yeah, you are so right. So it is constantly approving and affirming.
Yeah, I feel like a couple days ago I tried it and my husband also tried it and he was saying my husband is right and when I was trying it, he was saying I'm right.
Yeah.
So it's also very confusing because people say like you can maybe use some questions you can ask to ChatGPT, for example, but not all of them. And there is a way of asking questions. Can you give us maybe example how we can ask question that AI can give us an accurate answer?
I think it's about organizing. If questions are about organizing and clearing things,
Yeah.
you can use AI. AI is a tool. It is not an entity. It is not a human being. So it doesn't have emotions. That's what AI misses. And it's very important in relationships.
Yeah.
and for a human being. So know that it's a tool while using it, and don't take it too seriously, because it's a tool that is designed to satisfy you.
Yeah, I seen like one story. There was I feel what was the I think there was a woman who got married to a chat GPT.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who also think AI is his wife.
Okay.
And why we are emotionally too connected to ChatGPT or any AI tool?
Because it's always available.
Okay. And it's very easy that whenever you want, you can just reach out to it.
Yeah, and you can just log out and don't talk to it for days, and you will come back to it, and it will be again cheerful and
Happy.
joyful to see you.
So can you give us maybe some examples, like if someone is maybe suffering or maybe wanted to know more about AI and how they can use this tool for their benefit?
I mean, I use it sometimes between my therapy sessions, my personal therapy sessions, to reflect on the topics that I'm thinking about currently. Like, it brings me to a certain depth, and then it gets stuck, because it can't take you as deep as you already are. It can't take you deeper than you already are. Maybe people can remember that it's just a mirror, and it is not a human being that can expand your horizons.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for giving this one, because I feel like many people who use AI, they always try to use it for their benefit, but somehow they are also getting attached to it too much. That can not give you accurate answer, but also confuses you at the same time.
I think so. Like, there is no going back from it. I am using it, you are using it, everybody is using it. It is like saying use a horse carriage, not a car. So we are going to use it, but would you drive your car too fast? Or, I don't know, would you use your car in your home or living room? I think there can be limitations to it, and using it with caution can be
What
a
is
good
the safe
idea.
way according to you? Maybe some 5, 2 or 3 steps that how you can use ChatGPT, for example, or any AI tool.
I think you can check your relationship with it if you depend on it. Like, if you constantly go to it and if you can't do anything without it, then I think it's taking away your power. I value this freedom, sovereignty in people, and ChatGPT is a tool. It's like it can become an addiction, and I think an internal feeling is the greatest compass for determining if you are addicted or not. So it comes from inside. I think everybody has this little feeling if they are overusing it.
So, but also people, sometime I heard people were saying like AI is making human being dumb. Like we are getting maybe like knowledge wise, we are not gaining that much knowledge as it needed for a human being, but because of these new AI tools, we are also losing that sense of thinking.
I agree to this idea to an extent. I am skeptical about it, because I would like to stand with technology as it's a beautiful thing and it makes our lives easier.
Yeah.
But when it comes to AI, it's a form of technology that can grow so big, even bigger than people. That's my fear around it. And it is taking away our autonomy somehow. Like, we people, and it is not a fault, it comes with being a human, tend to choose the easy path. So AI is giving that easy path so easily.
And people are using it and they avoid thinking when they can do it easily, no?
Yeah.
So
I think it's like a personal responsibility now to be able to think, like doing sports. You know that working out is good for your body, you know that eating healthy is good for your body, but sometimes you're slipping to other way around.
yeah.
And AI I think it falls under the same title.
Yeah. For example, if someone feel lost right now, I wanted to move to another segment.
Yeah, sure.
So if someone feel maybe lost right now, because many time it happened that we wanted to do something in our life, but we don't know, we don't have a straight goal. And in our early age, everyone say us like, oh, you have to plan everything. This is what we conditioned to believe, right? But when we talk about some practice that we can do, especially when we feel like lost and we wanted to have some goal in our life, what are the simple steps that we can take?
I have a little problem with the word simple here because I don't have a simple answer for that, unfortunately. I think if someone feels lost, there can be many reasons behind it, but one I see more is avoidance. Sometimes we feel lost because we avoid our pain and we put on a mask and we say, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm really happy right now, while inside there is something in us, because deep down people can't trick themselves. We know with subtle feelings. So if someone is feeling lost, my suggestion would be looking slowly and calmly what they are avoiding. So that avoidance is too loud that they can't hear the sound of their heart.
Yeah, and I feel like nowadays, because of social media, we try to distract ourselves, especially with those feelings. Because even though me myself, I do that, whenever I wanted to distract myself, I will go online and I will spend like hours online. Not just because I want to spend time there, but I just want to distract myself from unpleasant feeling what I have.
I can relate.
Yeah, but this is very common, I think, nowadays. But how can we avoid that and get over this?
I think willpower is the answer here, because it's so easy. Like, think about, again, I think it's about discipline and how you build your discipline around these topics, because your phone is always accessible and a world is inside your phone. So as I enter to social media, there are millions of things, people, valuable, funny, sometimes just not good things come onto my feed. And in order to avoid it, well, it is to fill a gap, right? So that gap needs to be filled. That's how my logic works. And if I'm not going to fill that gap with social media, then I need something better than social media. Social media is easy way of getting dopamine, and you lose it instantly. After you leave your phone, you are not feeling more satisfied. In fact, something has been taken.
You're drained from you, right? Yeah, because this happened with me, because if I see something on phone for a minute or even though for an hour or so, I will feel so happy. But the time I put my phone below and I was thinking maybe now I will do something else, I'm not able to do it because I still feeling I wanted to have this thing more.
Yeah, it's like a drug.
Yeah, it's like a drug. It's never enough. But do you think like what are the better way to gain dopamine?
I think it depends on people and your personal interest, everyone's personal interests. I think art can be a way. I think sports can be a way. Simple things can be a way, like knitting, crocheting, even watching something watching something that requires mental effort. Because there are movies that we are still doing the same thing, right? We are watching, but some movies invite us to work somehow while we are sitting and watching.
Yeah, I feel like it's an important point for, I think, people who are watching us today as well, because if you go after dopamine, that social media or other stuff going to stay for a little time. After that, it's going to drain you. So maybe stick with those habits or those things that actually can stay longer and can also make you healthy. So that also can be the thing. So how can a person tell the difference between what they truly want and what they have been conditioned to want?
They can go to therapy for that.
But going to therapy, there's the same thing. Like, going to therapy is very hard for people, because some people are also conditioned that therapy is where you also get treated, definitely, but you don't know if you have a good psychologist or bad psychologist, and people are also afraid of that. So how we can find out to like make our own mind to go to therapy, or maybe find out if this psychologist is good one or bad one for us?
I think therapy is a need. So if a need is present, then the search begins. Like if
Yeah.
you have pain in your body, you go to a doctor to relieve,
Yeah.
to find a cure. Therapy works with the same principle. If there isn't problem, then therapy is not needed.
Yeah.
So your first question was
The therapy, like for example, how we can make our mind to go to therapy.
As I said, if there is a need present, then mind will make itself out and the idea will come. Maybe you will hear from somewhere and it will stick with you.
Yeah.
And if need is not present, then how nice. That
Yeah.
means you don't need it.
But some people feel like they wanted to have therapy, but the same idea that they go to one therapist and they feel like they get it, therapist took advantage of them somehow, because these are some scenarios even though seen on social media,
Yeah.
definitely, right? And in some of my friends' life, that they feel like they went to therapist, but like they went for help, right? But they feel like they got somehow exploited, but not physically, but emotionally.
Yeah, I see. Because you go there to open up, to trust, and if
Yeah.
this professional is not speaking to you in your language,
Yeah.
in emotional sense, then I can feel the struggle. But you can always question your therapist.
Yeah.
You can ask questions before going, and you can evaluate if this person is right for you, because
Yeah.
there are as many therapies as the therapists. Like,
Yeah.
so
Because people say like sometimes they go to therapist and it feels like they are going to lawyer. So
why? Why lawyer?
because sometimes they ask so many questions.
Oh yeah, okay.
So many questions that some people can give answer to questions, right? But some people feel like, this stress in them, that why this person is asking me that many questions.
This can either be resistance of client or maybe not compatibility between the client and the therapist.
So I wanted to ask question around pain and healing. When someone is hurting but can't explain why, what might be happening beneath the surface?
When someone's hurting and can't explain why.
Because sometimes it happened with some of my around people that they say like, I don't know why I'm feeling so bad, but I'm feeling bad. And they wanted to cry without any reason.
First thing coming to my mind is suppressed memory. There is something that they suppressed maybe from their childhood, maybe not even that far away, maybe some years ago something happened and they avoided it. Maybe they don't want to think about it or talk about it, because what waits for them in that particular memory is pain. But pain is part of life, and therapy usually creates space in people for them to meet with that pain in a constructive way, so they can shift the pain on themselves.
But so pain have a memory, you saying that?
Pain?
Yeah, pain. Like our pain have a memory. Like
Pain is the memory, I think. Like memory is in our body and mind, and sometimes this memory can be pain, or memory can be painful.
But how we can find out that this emotion is coming from my past pain experience? How we can find out that? With therapy or something else?
I mean, with therapy certainly, but if another answer can be, can you ask me again?
So for example, like when we talk about pain, right? And sometimes it happens that people don't know, as I said, like they are going through this specific emotions, but they don't know what this emotion is coming from. Is it a past pain that is coming from, or how we can find out that it's from past or current one?
If you don't know where it's coming from, I think there's a big chance that it's coming from your past or your first conditionings, even from your family. There is no guide for life, but we all have guides within our minds, and sometimes those guidebooks within our minds don't reflect the truth of our lives because we inherited them from our family. They are learned knowledge that we are trying to use, and we feel stuck with them. So it can be that.
Okay. So why do people sometimes stay in situations that they know are not good for them?
Maybe they are seeking for some easy pleasures. Maybe the answer can be comfort. Comfort zone is a strong field. I mean, we need it. We all need to be in our comfort zones sometimes. We have our homes, but we also need adventure. And if they stay in their comfort zone for too long, I think a feeling of decaying and numbness, apathy occur.
Yeah, I feel like especially with some of my people around me, or even though me myself, when we talk about some situation that you actually wanted to get out, it's also, I think, we feel comfortable with that, but also we feel afraid somehow that something wrong going to happen if we going to leave this relationship or this situationship, kind of.
Yes, fear will be there, and there is no escape from it, I think. I think fear is a big shadow, and when it's faced, we realize that it's not that big. Only the shadow of it is really big.
So, but can we switch off and switch on?
I don't think so, but fear and bravery are not two opposite things. So if you are afraid, then you can be brave. That works like that.
Okay, so you have to feel brave, and then you can do some action.
I think so.
So
you can motivate yourself into being brave in many ways.
So I wanted to ask a question around mind, body and emotion. What are some signs that our body is holding stress or emotional pain? You already explained that, but I wanted to ask in more details.
Sure.
What are some signs that your body feel that you are holding stress and emotions? Or maybe some pain from emotions.
You mean in physical aspect, right?
Physical aspect, yeah.
I think physical pain, like maybe tense shoulders, some stuckness around hips, like you feel it in your body, maybe lack of flexibility.
Okay, so like despite being, if you do stretching and so on, you still feel pain, then that means it can be from emotions, stress?
Yeah, it can be, sure. I think emotions and body work together. So they reflect each other. I mean, we can understand it quickly. Let's say you are angry. Are you loose when you are angry?
I think I'm more tight.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So body reacts to mind's anger. And also when you are peaceful, let's say, are you like tense? It's impossible to be tense and peaceful at the same time, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
But is it possible, like if someone else is in stress, we will just by watching we can tell?
If you are a sensitive person and a good observer, yeah, you can tell from the body.
Just by observing someone?
I mean, you can't tell their whole story, that would be a lie, but you can sense that something is going on with them. We are see-through beings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How can someone begin to reconnect with their body? Because I think this is one of the topics, like people actually wanted to heal. If they have trauma, they had trauma from the past or in current situation, or they are thinking about future, because sometimes people get stressed because of future, because majority of people, I think, because of future, they also get very, very stressed and anxious. How we can heal from that?
There can be many ways, but I know two proven methods that I'm using. It helps me to connect with my body. One is yoga and meditation, and the other one is dancing.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So you have to do it like some time, or you just once and then you can do it? Like, is there a time limit?
Not specifically a time limit, but for dancing, I would say don't stop when you get bored or when you get weird with your dancing, because you are not dancing to show off.
Yeah.
It is to connect with your body, so it doesn't even have to be beautiful. It can be weird, and you can do it alone, you can do it with friends. The goal is to connect with your body. So just be silly and continue and get tired.
But not in front of other people, maybe, because people will judge you.
Maybe with trusted people.
With trusted people, yes. Do any movement that you like to do. So that's definitely a nice suggestion, and I think people who are listening on site and online definitely follow this trick, and it will help them with their daily stress and anxieties. Why do we sometimes ignore our feelings until they become too loud?
Because they are hard. Carrying feelings and containing them requires internal tools. Sometimes we lack those tools because nobody taught us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't know what to do with our feelings.
And I also wanted to talk about relationships. Like,
Yeah.
why do we often feel lonely even when we are surrounded by many people? Because some people say that even though they are in marriage, but they feel lonely. Why is that? Why we feel that?
I think this is one of my favorite topics, by the way, because I'm really into existentialism, and loneliness is one of the central topics of existentialism. And I can see two faces of loneliness. One is social isolation, like being alone in my room and other people are not there with me.
Yeah.
And the other one, even right now we are sharing the room all together, but
Yeah.
everyone is alone within themselves. This
Yeah.
is what we can call existential loneliness. This can be the reason, maybe. Maybe
Okay.
that embedded loneliness that human has. And it's not a pleasant feeling,
Yeah.
but it's part of being a human, and it's inevitable.
But this is like, so when you say like, oh, I'm married and I'm feeling lonely, because maybe your partner can feel offense out of it, right? Because no, why you feel lonely when you're married to me, right? So how we can explain our partners if person is feeling lonely, it's not about them, it's about ourselves.
Maybe first let's determine if it's not about them. Maybe it's about them. Because sometimes in relationships we feel lonely too. Sometimes our needs aren't being met in a relationship. So each thing that you are asking me is highly individual, I think. Like as many people, as much stories.
Yeah, so there can be scenarios that it's for one person it can be different feeling, and for other person can be different story.
But if it's like you said, if it's about us, I think it's also responsibility of the person who feels lonely within themselves to convey this message to their partners, because how they will know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But is there a peaceful way to explain that without conflict?
I hope so.
So give us maybe example how to convey these kind of messages, especially that are uncomfortable to tell.
Yeah, using I language without any blame, like you are making me feel lonely is a place of blame, and the other person will get defensive after hearing this. But
Yeah.
if you say, I am feeling lonely right now, the other person will open their ears and get interested, because you are sharing something about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And how can someone start setting boundaries if they never done it before?
Ooh.
So
It will hurt in the beginning. You will think that you are hurting other people, but please do it. Please set boundaries.
but no, setting boundaries, I think it comes with the many other situationship with that, because you wanted to set boundaries, but other person is not even willing to accept your boundaries.
But boundaries are not open to discussion of other people's acceptance. That's the thing about boundaries, isn't it? I am saying that this is my boundary, and if they are not accepting it, then they are crossing my boundary, and that means I have to remind them again that, but no, this is my boundary.
But how much time you have to remind them? how many times you have to do that? Like, this is my boundary, you cannot cross it.
Until you lose your patience and you leave.
You leave, okay. So leaving is the answer then.
Can be sometimes.
But like, especially with boundaries, I think it's very big topic and also very misunderstood sometimes. Like I was talking before with the other psychologists, right? That we set boundaries for certain thing. Sometimes we feel like we are making our own boundaries, but safer, making us safe, ourselves safe, right? But sometimes it happens that those boundaries are too much boundaries. So how you can avoid that and maybe have a limited boundaries that you can create on other person, that it will also not feel like exhaustion.
So you are saying that if I build too many boundaries, I might stay
Lonely.
too alone. Yeah, I think there can be a balance of inviting people in and also having boundaries, and also people who are compatible to your boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the, like, we can talk about maybe examples when somebody is crossing another one's boundary. If the boundary is too tight, or if this other person is being intrusive.
Yeah. But is it, that's I was asking last time question, like, can you be a victim of boundaries?
I mean, I think the answer is yes. If you can build a lot of boundaries and walls around you, and you can be lonely inside. So this can be a position of being victim.
Yeah, because some people have this mindset that someone is out to get them all the time.
Yeah.
But why they feel this way?
I think it's about trusting life and being open to experience or not. If you don't trust life, if you don't perceive world as safe and friendly, then you are constantly having shields and protecting yourself. And I'm not saying that world is always friendly and safe and this is sickness, because we know what's going on around globe right now.
Yeah.
But when a human mind and body is healthy, it perceives world as it is. So if there is a danger, then we have to take our shields on and protect ourselves. But if there is no danger on site, then why are the shields? Probably it's because of your past again.
But sometimes can we miss those like red flags in our relationships?
Yeah, sure. Out of attraction, maybe there is a big physical attraction, and maybe there are other needs being met. And we tend to overlook.
Yeah, but for example, like for people who come abroad, right, and they feel, I think everyone feel lonely or homesickness, we call, right, that they want to go back to their land and see, like, they feel related to that land, right, and they wanted to go home and they feel homesick. And other word we also call it like loneliness, right?
Loneliness.
So can you give us example how we can maybe try to heal, or maybe give us a little bit tap on the shoulder that everything is fine?
Well, it's hard because it's a real situation. As being an expat, it is something I experience time to time. And I find refuge in going time to my country to see my relatives, friends, and not even only about people, but also about the
Surroundings,
places. Yeah, like seeing the sea or walking on that particular street really helps me. So it is balance. Everybody, every expat, every international has to find for themselves how often they need to go to visit their country to feel less lonely. And also I think one solution can be immersing yourself in the culture that you are currently living at, like learning the language, learning their customs.
But yeah, I feel like especially with the, like when everyone, even though me, myself came, or maybe my friend who came from India to Poland, for example, they feel they are lonely, but some people have this, I think it's a way that they are scared to meet more people. They also not create a boundaries, but like they are scared to meet people somehow. So they are not more interactive. They just wanted to keep to themselves, but same time they also feel lonely. How they can maybe take one step ahead and maybe take just leap of faith and go out and meet people?
Maybe they can begin with people who are from their country. Because community is a universal human need. Some of us have it less, some of us have it more.
Yeah.
And for a culture like yours, I think community, also my culture, is very important.
Yeah.
And in Poland, it's different around community. Yes, they are really connected with each other.
Yeah.
In families, maybe what, but socially,
Not too much.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's but also,
It requires more effort to
Efforts, yeah.
have that community here, I would say.
but can you make yourself a little bit calm on those situations when you feel that much like it's too much effort? Because sometimes our brain want us to be lazy. That's like a typical thing for our brain, right? But when we want to go out and just move out of our comfort zone, and what push we require there?
Well, maybe remembering that not everything you want is for your benefit. So not every desire that comes from inside will help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, and I think people who are listening us today, they will definitely find this
Hope so.
very helpful. But I feel like majority of us, we one way or another, we go through this thing.
Yeah.
And I think just taking a leap of faith and try to just reconnect with the other people, it will definitely help. I wanted to talk more about relationship and connection. Why do we often feel lonely even when we are surrounded by people? Definitely we know that. But what healthy emotional connection look like?
It's a beautiful question. I can talk about my perspective. This is not going to be a universal answer. This is just
Yeah.
going to be my view on it. I think respect towards each other and building, having eyes upon future together, as well as having the courage to go into deeper layers of the relationship, going into deeper dimensions together. And that means being able to stay at discomfort together. There will be hard moments in a relationship. You can be great on your own, but when you meet with someone, it's a collision and two universes are coming together, two huge lives, and there are shadows coming from both parts, people who don't acknowledge, places that people don't acknowledge yet.
Yeah.
So ability to stay with discomfort, I would say, together.
But sometimes it
And it
happens.
is, I'm sorry, but it is not only about discomfort. We are staying in the discomfort to experience love.
Yeah,
That's the
you
ultimate.
grow from it, right?
Yeah.
You grow together. You don't push each other down. Definitely.
Yeah.
There are some scenarios like in relationship when we have one partner that's very active, had many talent, but one partner will push you down rather than maybe supporting you ahead. How we can maybe save ourselves or maybe keep pushing ourselves that we can reach to the things that we wanted to do, just not listening our partners, for example.
It sounds like a really difficult dynamic that
Yeah.
you are talking about right now. I would ask to this person and both of them, why are they together?
Okay.
I mean, not to advise them to break up, but really genuinely I'm interested. If this is the dynamic, then why what are they doing together?
Yeah, and I feel like people sometimes knows that they are together, but it's also very hard for them to even identify this simple question that why they are together.
So maybe it's out of convenience or habit, maybe it's
Maybe sometime with kids as well, no?
Oh, okay.
but if they have kid, how they can still support themselves? But how they can do it? Maybe if you can give some advice.
I can try. Well, I'm thinking about individuality right now around it. When we are in a relationship, there is a common misconception that we become one organism together.
This in India, yes, we are two body, one soul.
Yeah, but it's not the case, right?
Yeah.
Two body, two souls remain.
Yeah, definitely.
And two souls have two separate sets of needs.
Yeah.
So they have to be taken under consideration separately.
Yeah.
Who needs what?
Yeah. So, but can you give us maybe example that they can feel positive and try to keep going in their own way or individual way?
If someone's individual way is not clashing with the other person's individual way, then why not following it? I think again there is an individual responsibility there staying. Like why? Let's be active. If you are active, be active, and if the other person is not doing it and you feel like you have to be with this person for many reasons, maybe out of convenience, maybe you are not ready to end it yet, maybe you have kids, maybe you have a business together, and they can do their own things, but protecting and fulfilling your own needs is your responsibility.
Oh yeah, because someone say like people look for happiness outside, but happiness is within, right?
And it's found within.
Yeah, so you have to make yourself feel proud of your own self and just keep going. That would
I mean, happiness is an emotion.
Yeah.
And the emotions happen in us. They're individual.
Yeah.
I can be happy and I can radiate happiness to you.
Yeah.
But I can't make you happy. You can be happy because you saw me, but it's
complicated.
It's complicated.
So, does anyone need to have a clear purpose in life?
Need?
Like, as I said, like in our childhood, we condition that we need to have a purpose in life, that we should do this much, we should earn this much, we should be that much successful, because majority of people, I feel, they feel uneasy because they are not reached to that goal that they set for themselves for a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to happiness again. Because having a purpose is what gives meaning into our lives, and if we are using a purpose that we haven't invented and we got from someone else, then we might feel stuck with it and we might think that it's a responsibility and it's not a motivation, or we won't find purpose in this adopted purpose.
Yeah.
So purpose can come from inside only. Nobody can tell me what's my purpose is. They can advise, they can tell, but I wouldn't feel it. Let's say it like that. Families tell their children, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be something, be this thing and that thing. And does it work? Does it bring happiness?
No, they feel miserable and try to explain their parents, but I think in an Asian community like ours, it's a big problem. I think people are changing now, but the time when I was studying, I remember my parents was very supportive whatever I wanted to do, but some of my friends, their parents is like, no, you have to become a doctor, you have to do this thing, and they were crying literally because they don't want to study.
How hard the
situation will be. And some of them, like, they wanted to self-harm, so that's also was the reason, because they wanted to make their parents feel proud, because it's also come at people pleasing, no, that you trying to please your parents, but in a way it's not right.
Yeah, it's a cultural cloth.
Yeah.
To have connected relationships with your family. You either have it or not, and if you have it, if it's in you, then not listening to them will feel like hell, because it's like we were talking about how a person can set boundaries for the
Yeah.
first time. It is similar thing because setting boundaries to your parents as well is hard because it feels like you are letting some people down. In fact,
Yeah.
you are just standing for yourself.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing, because boundaries also related to your culture, and it's
Yeah.
impact you more on that, because even though you decided that you want to make boundaries, but in a way that you conditioned, or people say you like, you are a woman, you shouldn't do that, and then you decide like, what exactly I have to do, because I'm now getting confused,
Yeah.
like what my life purpose is exactly.
How I want my life to be.
Yeah, and this is very confusing. And when you come country like Poland or other European country, and you feel like women are like more power, they have more power here, they can do whatever they want, not like in a wrong way that people
Yeah.
think that they will just wear short clothes. This is what their mentality is, but not like this. But they can make their own decision about their own life. They don't have to ask someone, can I go out, can I do this, because this is what conditioned, especially for me, even though like I have to ask. When I was in India, I had to ask my hostel, we had warden, I have to ask her to go out, I have to tell her when I'm gonna come back. So technically it's very hard for me to even though leave this habit now, because I'm doing it for like so long, and this is very tiring as well sometimes. But now I think slowly, since I'm getting many people, I'm talking with many people like you guys, and many more psychologists, and I think these things are improving, but it's not for everyone, right? So not everyone will get this much chance to talk with many psychologists, right?
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to those people who are feeling stuck, and they wanted to get out of that mindset that built for them in their younger age?
I would like to answer this from a woman perspective, because you were talking about it, and for women, this oppression is,
Yeah.
I think, it is very rare in Europe, but it's global, and it's
Yeah.
more common in Eastern societies like yours and mine. And as for Europeans, I agree that they are more free, but
Yeah.
they are also working and they are taking responsibility. They have jobs. They
Yeah.
are doing also the hard work. So for women who would like to stand on their feet, I encourage them to do the hard work, because freedom is tasty. It
Yeah.
is tastier than being under wings of someone. You are going under wings of yourself, and it is a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, and I feel like especially with the female and becoming independent, that is very important. But I seen some female that they don't want to be independent,
Yeah.
and that is very hard for me to understand, because whole my life I go through this thing, and I feel like, no, I want to be independent, because my parents told me to as well, because they said like, one day your brother will not help you, your father, mother will not help you, but you're going to help yourself, and you have to make sure that you are more independent in your life, right? And I learned this from them, and I'm keep going because of that thing, because I feel like if you are not independent, if someone will give you something, they will also take too much from you. For example, if someone will help you with money, right? So just imagine like your own relationship. Someone will give you money and say like, oh, you are my girlfriend now, right? But they will also demand so much from you that now you have to follow me, now you have to do this for me, right? So there are more conditions to it. But when you are independent, you are not coming to that conditions.
Yeah, you are choosing for yourself if
Yeah.
it's your place to stay or not.
Yeah, and you can move on even though if you want it, if you feel like it's not good,
Yeah.
and it's much more easier. How can someone begin to rebuild their sense of self after feeling lost for a long time?
After getting connected to themselves, the process will begin. And it is a slow cook. So it is not a momentary realization that you found yourself and you were lost and now you're found. It is not working like
It
that in
doesn't
my
work like
opinion.
this.
So it is a ongoing discovery. Constantly you are getting more attuned to yourself and you are realizing more things about who you are and what you like.
Yeah. And I also wanted to move to another topic that is deep, honest questions we're going to ask.
Okay. I'm
what-
intimidated.
No, don't worry. It will be helping our helping our audience definitely. So, what is something people are often afraid to admit, even to themselves?
That they are not perfect.
Oh yes.
We strive to be perfect because it is a performance-based society. Like even with social media right now, we are trying to get more views, and number means a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the same question. Like sometimes we feel like in social media, everything is not real, right? But we take it too seriously, and we actually get anxiety, stress, and jealousy. I think this was one of the thing as well, that we get to see some social media, some person's story, and we was like, my life is suck, right? But in reality, it's not. It's all fake.
Yeah.
But why we think this way? Why this social media algorithm is so good that it's working on our brain?
Because it is designed to do that. It is designed to captivate our attention and for us to spend more time in it. I think there's one good thing about social media is giving equal opportunity to everyone. Everyone who has a cell phone can upload a video onto social media and can. So maybe if you feel, I think jealousy also as a feeling shows what you want for yourself.
Yeah.
So if maybe jealousy, if someone has jealousy around social media, maybe they can start their own channel and they can try out
And check it out why they are
Yeah.
feeling this way.
Yeah.
But the thing is that about social media and also psychologists, because I've seen so many stories online. Some people say that they are real psychologists, but they are not getting that much work. That some people are faking online and they are getting clients and they are getting everything. Do you agree with this is happening?
I think this is happening. But do I like this? That's another story.
So, but do you feel like those kind of psychologists, they are trying to help, but they are not proper psychologists, they are just online ChatGPT psychologists, for example?
They can be. Also, there are psychologists who are real psychologists out there, and my personal story goes around it. I resisted opening an Instagram channel, a social media channel, and because I said to myself, I want to be a therapist. I don't want to be a content creator. I don't know how to shoot video. I don't know how to edit them.
Yeah.
But the world kind of pushes me into this direction because there are people who are doing it who are not as educated or as passionate as I am.
Yeah, but I feel like some podcaster in India, he said it that there is a time that each and everyone will be content creator, even though by choice or if someone will push them. So there is a chance, and I see now this shift, because if you're a psychologist, if you're a doctor, even though now they are on TikTok, I've seen them so many times that they are even doing some kind of treatment even online. And this is crazy era to be witnessed, definitely.
Absolutely.
But in a way, I feel sometimes people who are authentic, they are also hidden because of this.
How? I think authenticity can't be hidden.
For example, like as I say, like I seen some women who say herself like, oh, I am a psychologist, but she's not, right? She's giving advice to people how to live a life, right? In some situation it's okay, but for those questions or those help is not for everyone.
Yeah.
But she's not explaining that way that it's for everyone, right? But do you think like these kind of people can do good, but maybe can do more harm toward people who are maybe listening to them, who are not in that mindset?
Maybe They can also do harm, but best case, they just won't bring you forward. They will say things that is not improving your self journey.
Yeah.
So you are hearing some words of affirmation or just superficial level of insight. I mean, harm, for them to do harm, I think more than social media is needed. Or maybe if some people are following those fake guru
Oh, yes,
channels, like
yeah.
therapist, guru, whatever, people who claim they know everything and
Yeah.
they are here to help you and they have all the answers and you are going to get healed when you meet them.
Yeah, they were like a healing this specialist.
Yeah.
I heal with the stones. For me, I don't know how that works, but it's also. But they gain so many people around them.
I think the harm can be here is if a person watches those videos and says, okay, I've done my work.
Yeah.
But no, you have done nothing. You just saw an Instagram video and thought that it helped you. In
Yeah.
fact, you are at the same place. You are experiencing same problems in your relationship and your personal life and professional life too, maybe.
Yeah, but if you also the thing I wanted to ask, because if you're watching these kind of gurus, do you feel like you can fall in cult situation that they will recruit you for a cult, come and join us?
Well, not personally. Like I am not. This type of communities don't attract me. I might say.
No, but for like general people, probably it will be possible.
Like if I would do it.
Yeah. No, not you, but like people who are maybe watching us. The audience.
Yeah, if
or
they are
something.
in a place of, if they feel desperate in the moment, because we all need connection, and if someone feels lonely, really lonely, and I think we all have been there at one point in our lives.
Yeah.
Being alone, feeling alone is not a pleasant thing, and it's we are searching for an out from that feeling. So if someone is vulnerable in that position, then they can be taken by some group and it might feel good for them.
Good for them. But I wanted to ask the last question before we end our session. What advice would you give to people who actually going through loneliness, especially for our expats and our audience who are watching us, even though they have people around them, but they still feel lonely?
I would say that it's part of being a human, and I know that it's not a pleasant experience to go through. But there are people around, and connection cures loneliness. We never feel lonely in real connection, so I'd invite them to, if they want, if they are ready, to connect with people.
Okay, perfect. So if our audience on site want to ask question, can you come? You can take this chair in the middle.
Oh.
In the middle.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your talk. It was really interesting, useful and inspiring. And especially I like the part about practicing meditation, yoga, dances. That's what I actually do in my life. However, sometimes I tend to lose inspiration due to feel of overwhelm because of workload. And I do need that inspiration to create educational activities. So it's not just about sleeping more. That doesn't really help. And I wonder what else could you suggest to try in order to regain that inspiration that I really need, apart from dancing and apart from sleeping more on weekends maybe.
And apart from meditation, right? This is going to be, again, a personal choice of mine. I find nature really helpful to replenish my battery. Being around trees, if you can't go to a mountain, like being in a park in the city, and maybe to remember that inspiration comes in waves. So inspiration is not a linear line that always climbs up, but it comes with waves, and maybe respecting those ebbs and flows and when you don't have inspiration, because you can't force it, right? Forced inspiration is felt. It doesn't feel right. So maybe if you don't have it, respect the absence of it and fill your time with other things, like other things that help you.
Okay,
Does
thank
that
you so
sound
much.
good?
Yes, I will consider nature part also. Thank you
Super.
so much.
Thank you for asking.
And another question I have. So it's been almost 4 years since I also live abroad, but in my mind it's still kind of temporary thing. So I haven't really made a decision that that's my place for now. Let's say not for whole life. What do you think could be behind that indecisiveness of mine, that I still cannot accept that it's actually now my place and it's not that I'm just temporary here because it's been pretty long time already?
What can be the reason behind it, you were saying?
Like, yes, what stopping me now from deciding that that's actually my place, let's say for the nearest future at least, because for now just like, yes, I'm still here, okay, 1 more year, okay, still here, 1 more lease agreement for another year, another Karta Pobytu or something. So it's still like I haven't decided that, okay, so that's my place for now.
Can it be that you are partially enjoying having this kind of freedom and open future?
I haven't thought so, but could be. Could be probably.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe that's what comes to my mind. I thought of something else, but now it's gone.
Okay, so actually I enjoy this state of mind that
Maybe
I'm
can
deciding.
it be? Maybe you can ask this to yourself, because having options ahead of you is a beautiful, open feeling, right? And being decided to something means that you are not deciding the other ones. So keeping your options open, maybe.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
haven't thought about this in such a way. Thank you. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Bige, for
Thank
giving
you.
us such a good advice, and our audience as well. And I hope people who are watching us today or in future, they will find this session helpful, and we will keep making these kind of episodes more. Please stay tuned and keep watching Diary of Kar. Thank you.